What is up, friends? Welcome to my 2023 financial reset and my January monthly reset routine. If you're new here, I do these reset routines every single month where I essentially do a little recap of my last month, everything that I spent last month, do a goals reflection, all of that. And I also like to change it up from month to month. So if you want to reset with me in the future, and if you like these kinds of videos, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to leave a comment down below. What is one of your biggest 2023 goals this year, and what are you looking forward to this year? Make sure to leave a comment down below. I love chatting with you all and getting to know you all. If you're not new here, you probably know that I've been working on a budget tracker slash template to share with you all. If you want to check out my budget tracker or any of the templates that I'm using today, I did make them available for you all via Google Sheets, and they will be posted on my website at www.selenatrevino.com/shop. So make sure to check it out. I will also have the link and everything down below. I'm also having a New Year's sale for the month of January, so make sure to check out the discount code down below. But with all of that said, let's get into it. I swear I have been wanting to make this reset for so freaking long, so I'm so excited. Let's do a little December recap. So I have my goals right here. Okay, so starting with my health and wellness monthly intentions. I had the intention of waking up before 9 a.m., which I'm not gonna lie, in December, I was on vacation pretty much 70% of the month. So that just didn't happen. I'm just gonna leave that blank, but that's a good intention. I'm definitely going to work on that in January, so I'll probably keep that. My other goal was to work out 3 days per week. It's fine. It's just an intention. It's a check-in. It's a little like reminder, reality check for myself. December, I'm definitely giving myself grace because I was home for the holidays. I am still home, and I just wanted to spend time with my family. So I did not do it 3 times per week. I think I only worked out like 4 times since I've been home, so like once a week. Walking 7,500 steps on average. I have been working from home here and not really going anywhere, so I'm safely gonna say I did not meet that. And 2 runs per week. I think we all know where this is going. Personal and professional, I wanted to post 2 videos a week, which I don't think I did every single week. I did want to finish my monthly reset spreadsheet, which honestly took a lot longer than I had anticipated, but I got it done, hence this video. So I'm gonna check that off. I wanted to read a Bible verse every morning. I have been doing that because I still get those daily Bible verses sent to my phone. So in order to even get rid of the notification, I have to read the Bible verse. So that's been really helpful. And then reading 1 book. Again, vacation mode, which to some people means reading books. For me, it actually takes some discipline to get myself to like sit down, slow down, and read a book, which I think I'll be able to do once I'm back home and back in a routine. But December was definitely not a routine month for myself, which is why if I don't check off any of these, I'm gonna be 100% okay. Now getting into my financial goals, I wanted to keep track of everything that I spent, which I do have my Mint app, and I highly recommend for 2023 if you aren't using a budgeting app like Mint, or I think EveryDollar might do it. I don't really know much about it. I've always used Mint and I highly recommend it. It's a great way to start with budgeting, and it's free. As you'll see, I use my own budget template to kind of input some of the data from that. So if you want to do what I'm doing, you can always check out my template, but you can also just add all of your accounts on Mint, and it will keep track of your money pretty well so that you can see where you're spending. So I will say that I have been keeping track of that using the app, and no impulse buying. I don't think I can check that off because it was Christmas and I'm pretty sure I spent a lot more than I had anticipated. So anyway, those were my December goals and intentions. It's safe to say, maybe, I don't know, maybe I was like reaching too far, or I didn't take into account that I would be on vacation in December. If you're new to my channel around here, we give ourselves grace. Our monthly intentions are not like set things that you need to meet every single month. It's more like a little reflection, check-in that really gets you thinking about how your month went. If anything, it's not like a SMART goal, something that you have to measure and need to complete every single month. It's definitely not about that around here. So it should be enjoyable, in my opinion, doing your monthly resets and whatever that looks like to you. And to me, that looks like not being very strict about my monthly intentions. But with all that said, let's set some goals for January. For my January goals, I did create a new template. It's like what I used this past year if you've watched my monthly resets, but very much revamped, and I put a lot of thought into what I actually want to reflect on and have in my monthly reset. But know that we're ever evolving and ever growing, so I made this super customizable. You can easily change this up, and I'm likely going to be changing this up as my needs change throughout the year, because again, I'm a person, I'm a human. It's not like I'm a robot and things are just automated for me. That'd probably make life much easier, but also very boring. So anyway, this is the template, and there's a tab that says start here. So this is where you'll actually go in. It has more information for you to read and get ideas of how you can kind of change it up. But in section 1, it tells you to choose 3 intentions for the year. So I actually want to do that really quickly because I think I changed these. So the first one for me is going to be self-love, growth, and healing, as well as purpose, which is something that I also focused on last year. I'm just updating this real quick. I'm not going to go through all of my goals because I already did that in the previous reset, 2023 reset. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure to do that. But I just wanted to give you all another quick little overlook because this is something that I'm going to be using every single month in addition to how I used it for my 2023 reset. Now, honing in on the monthly intentions, this is the part that I'm going to be updating every single month. So the first thing that I wanted also in the start here section is where you choose the 3 categories that you want to focus on in your monthly intentions. So the first one for me is health and wellness, and then the second one for me is going to be personal and professional, and the third one's going to be financial. So now that that's updated, this is where my monthly intentions are going. Okay, so for health and wellness, a goal that I want to set for January is to wake up 7:30 a.m., which for me right now is really early. So yeah, maybe I should actually say like wake up at 8 a.m. because again, like I said, we're ever changing and growing. So maybe next month I'll set my goal to be like 7 a.m. One thing that I recently started doing that I want to continue doing is taking an immunity shot every day. So take a morning shot or just take vitamins. I want to walk 7,500 steps on average. And then I also want to run, because again, I'm getting back into running, so I want to try to run at least once a week. Publish 2 videos per week. I think I'm just gonna take a minute to actually reflect on them. I always want to make my goals with you all, but I also think that I need to do some reflecting on my own and actually write these down, and then I'll share them with you all. So for my personal and professional monthly intentions, I want to publish 2 videos a week, take a course on project management because that's something that I've recently been taking on a little bit more at work, and I honestly find it really interesting, but I definitely need to work on growing those skills, growing and developing those skills. So I want to take a course on that, or at least find a course that I want to take. I want to go to church every Sunday except for the first week because I'm going to actually be in Chicago, so that's going to be a little bit hectic. But once I get back and I'm back in a routine, so that means I will aim to go to church 3 days minimum in the month of January. And then I want to read 1 book, which one book that I added to my book tracker that I want to read is Rich Dad Poor Dad. I've had this book forever and I've read like the first 50 or 100 pages. And my financial goals to invest 2% of my January paycheck into an investing account, which I already have one, and then to max out my Roth IRA for 2022, because one of you commented a really great reminder that you're able to max out your Roth IRA for 2022 up until April, which is pretty much tax season. And then I also want to reset my business finance spreadsheet and collabs tracker for 2023. I do my finances for my like self-employment on the side. I don't share that with you all. I do want to keep some privacy. I do take into account that anybody can watch my videos, including brands, and technically I'm not allowed to share how much money I make on a brand deal. There's usually like a confidentiality clause in these contracts that we sign. Maybe in the future I might put out a template for you all to use if you might find that useful, so you'll see it that way and then I can share it, but I can't share my personal information. So thank you for understanding. Even though I share my life on the internet, I don't have to share everything with you all, and I think that most of you understand that and support that, and I'm very grateful for you, but just throwing that disclaimer out there. So I also want to agree to 2 brand deals for February. I found that 2 brand deals per month is like my sweet spot, especially since I have a growing community here on YouTube. I want to be very intentional, not only about what I promote, but also, you know, what brands actually care about creators, because I think that that's really important as well. So anyway, those are my goals. Kind of went outside of the whole financial goals aspect, but it is also my January reset routine, and this is what I do every single month. Now for the really fun part, we're gonna get into my January budget. I'm not even gonna go over my December budget just because I think that this will take a really long time. And not only that, I also think that December is not gonna be a very good representation of how I typically spend my money and where my money goes, because it was the holidays. So this is what my budget template looks like. I'm currently on the example tab. I saved this for you all to kind of see what your monthly budgets will look like once they're filled out. So you'll see that there's like little red flags, and that's because the equations and stuff are not going to work because I deleted a lot of this information. So this is just an example for you all to see like how the graphs should look. Whenever you put in information for your debt tracker, here you're putting your income summary, and this all gets calculated automatically. So the only parts that you should be filling out month to month are these budget and actual spots. You never want to touch the totals. You actually don't want to update the subscriptions on this section either, because they get automatically calculated based off of the trackers. So anyway, this is what it'll look like. But before we get into that, I just want to walk through the budget really quickly for you guys to see what's in the budget template and how it works. So there's the annual dashboard. In the annual dashboard, you're not going to fill out any of this because this is all going to get automatically populated based off of your monthly budgets. So as long as you're keeping up with that, then you'll be able to see actual trends of your income, your bills and expenses, savings, your investments, and your debt contributions, as well as your subscription summaries. I added this because there's like months where I don't even realize I'm spending so much on subscriptions, and then that'll remind me to, you know, maybe cancel a subscription or see where I can cut back. So there should be a little graph that will auto-populate here as well. And then at the bottom, this is a section that we will be filling out throughout the year because it's the financial goals and then wish lists. The idea of the wish list is essentially any large purchases that you would like to make this year, or just at any time in the year. If you want to add something to the list, you can put that here, and then you can check it off either if you do make the purchase, or if you decide, you know what, I actually think that now that I've waited, I don't want to make this purchase. So the wish list is really like a think list, because you put something down. It might be something that you 100% know you want to get, so you put it here, or it might be something that you want to get but you're not sure because it's a big purchase, so you kind of want to think on it for 30 days or 60 days. So you just put it there and you're just gonna let it sit there and you're gonna think about it. And the whole point of a wish list is to kind of help you and help me cut back on impulse spending and impulse buying. So that's gonna be here. And then the first thing that you're gonna want to do though when you get this template is go to the tracker section, because here's where you'll be able to keep track of everything. This is really like a data analysis dream, because once you have all of this data, if you wanted to, you know, do anything with it, like make graphs or just export this or whatever, it would be so much easier because it would all be lined up here. So you want to make sure you fill out all of these categories before you start any of your monthly budgets, because a lot of these, like the long-term savings, investments, these will get auto-populated into your monthly budget. So if you see here, you have these drop-down lists that show up, and this is going to auto-populate based off of the trackers sheet. So make sure you fill out the trackers, at least the categories first. So the tracker section has a savings tracker, investment tracker, bills tracker, subscription tracker, debt tracker, income tracker. So you can keep track of all or none of these things. The savings, debt, and investments sheet is another way to track. It's kind of giving you the option to use the trackers to track monthly contributions, or this, or both. Again, just giving you all options. So for myself, I'll probably be using this the most. And And that's why it's still important for you to fill out the trackers, because this is where the names of the goals or the debts or your investments will automatically populate, and you can just select it from the drop down. As you can see, these are empty right now because I haven't filled them in, but this is what it'll look like, and it'll kind of show you like trends and stuff, like a visual representation. That's a little summary of what it looks like, but let's get into the actual January budget. Once you've familiarized yourself with the example sheet, you can always just hide it, which is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do that with the readme section as well, because I don't need that. So getting into the January monthly budget. For income, I'm going to put my 9-to-5 job. I think I should be getting paid around $3,400. Then I'm going to put my YouTube AdSense, which is how much money I make monthly based off of how many people view my videos and also view the ads on my videos. So that's been typically around like 1,000 to 2,000 recently. So I'll just put like 1,500. And so that means that my budget this month would be around $4,900 to $5,000. Then here I'm gonna add rent, Wi-Fi, renter's insurance. I don't have car insurance or car payment. I just added that for you all if you might have to pay for that. And I don't pay for health insurance, at least not out of the money that I get out of pocket. It's already automatically pulled from my paycheck. So actually, I didn't even follow my own advice. I probably should go and make my own bills section first. So the bills that I pay monthly are rent, cell phone, Wi-Fi, oh, and then my subscriptions, which are Alive, it's a fitness. Pay for this monthly, and it's gonna be $15. I pay for that every single month. So I'm just gonna add that to all the months because I don't see myself canceling it, but if I do, I can always change the number to 0. Another subscription I pay for is Hulu. That is entertainment. I pay for that monthly, and I pay for the version that has no ads. So I do pay, I think, $14, and I think I pay that on, don't remember the due date, so I'll just add that later, but $14. And what's really cool is this will add up and show you the totals of how much you pay annually, which can be a little bit eye-opening. But in addition to that, on your actual reset, it will total up how much you pay for subscriptions every single month. So just with those two, I'm paying $29 a month, which honestly, this is putting stuff into perspective for me because that's not even all the subscriptions that I pay for. Let me see, another subscription that I pay for. This is also for memberships. If you have like a gym membership, it could go here, but I don't have a gym membership. I do pay for Spotify music, and this is monthly, and I pay $10. Okay, I just wanted to walk you all through some of this, but I'm gonna finish filling this out. Quick little pro tip: if you want to see what subscriptions you're paying for using your iPhone, like for example, if you're like me, you probably sign up for a lot of your subscriptions for apps on your phone, so you can check that on your iPhone just by going to settings and tapping on your name and clicking subscriptions. So here I can see that I have Alive by Whitney. I pay for Canva Pro because I use Canva for everything. LinkedIn, which, damn, I need to cancel that, I didn't even realize. And another app called Mojo. But I think I pay for those ones annually, so it's not as bad, and I'll probably just divide the annual sum for each month because that just makes the most sense to me. Anyway, just wanted to share that. I just wanted to show you guys a couple of functions. So I put in that I want to save about $5,000 this year, or my rainy day fund, which is my emergency fund. And so when you put in how much you want to save, it automatically will show how much you want to save monthly. And then at the very bottom, it'll show you the totals. So then you can kind of see if it's realistic for you personally to save up that much monthly. And then you also have the tracker over here, which will keep track of how much money you actually save. And you can kind of compare your actual of how much you save throughout the year versus, you know, your initial goal and everything. I just thought that this would be helpful to you all because I actually just added this right now. So I'm gonna have to update the template in real time to reflect this because I think it's really helpful. So I added that for the savings section. So I want to save up for a vacation, which means I would have to save up $416 every single month to save up that much money. And then here it shows that for all of my savings goals, I would have to save $3,300 every single month, which means for me personally, since all of my savings are coming from any YouTube money I make, like brand deals or AdSense or any of that, selling my templates, then that means I would need to make an additional $3,300 a month to meet all of my savings goals or cut my costs by $3,300, or a mixture of both, which is usually what I do. So just wanted to walk through that real quick. And then for investments, I added in my yearly goals, and again it shows me how much I would need to put in monthly. So I think I'm going to change this up as well and add the totals section for investments to kind of give you an idea whether or not your monthly goal is attainable for you in the long term. And then bills tracker. So I added all of the monthly fixed bills that I could think of, and this will auto-populate in the monthly budget sheets. I added more sections to the subscription trackers because I realized I actually have a lot of subscriptions, and I think there's a few business ones that I'm not going to add until later. And this just was eye-opening because if you look at the annual dashboard, you can already see that annually I would be spending $700. So I'm definitely going to cancel that LinkedIn one because you can see it pretty much cuts my monthly subscriptions in half. So I'm going to cancel that after this video. That was already really eye-opening. So that just goes to show how it's so important to track and how useful that can be. So debt tracker, the only debt that I have currently are my student loans, and I only inputted this data for an example for you all because personally my goal is actually to pay them off this year, and I have a substantial amount saved up, but I don't share how much exactly I have saved up for personal and privacy reasons. So this is all just an example. And then my income tracker, so far I just put 9-to-5 job. I'm obviously going to add like Google AdSense. Well, actually I might not add all of those things because again I have a separate place where I track my additional income. That's a little bit more complicated because as someone who's self-employed, I have to set aside about 30% for taxes. So I have a sheet that kind of calculates that all for me. So I'm just going to keep track of my 9-to-5 job and Google AdSense here because those are the two things that I base my monthly budget off. And then I might give myself like bonuses from here and there, which is just extra money that I have saved up from my sponsorships and stuff like that. And I might do that monthly or like quarterly, I'm not really sure, just to kind of give myself some more spending money. But this is a trackers section and how it's meant to work. And now in January, let's actually set the budget. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is going to be such a long video. So for rent, my rent has been about $18.50 because it includes water and sewage. My Wi-Fi monthly is $80 a month. Renter's insurance is approximately $30 a month. Subscriptions is already there, which is $95, which is crazy because of LinkedIn, but I'm definitely gonna cancel that. So now as you can see, this right here will show you what you have left to budget. The available to spend says -95 just because I haven't added my actual income since I won't know until the end of the month how much I actually made from AdSense and all of that. So it'll be interesting to see. This will show you in real time how much money you have left to budget. And then this cash flow you'll see will start populating once you start adding like things that you're spending money on. So anyway, so for utilities, I'm gonna budget around $200. Groceries, $400 because I split them with my boyfriend. Dining out, which includes like date nights, I'm gonna say like $350. I love food and food is an experience for me, so I'm willing to pay for it. Shopping, I'll say $200 because I end up buying things for the house and things like that. Self-care, I've been doing like my nails at home, but I might buy some like bath bombs and stuff in January to kind of up my self-care game. So I'm gonna say just like $75. Coffee, I usually make it at home, so I don't usually spend too much on coffee. So I'll say maybe $50. Rideshare is my main form of transportation if my boyfriend is not the one driving me or taking me somewhere, but I also don't go out that often. But I also do have the goal to go out more this year. Oh, actually, I'm going to Chicago. What am I talking about? So rideshare in January will probably be like $150 realistically. Just for the purposes to like show you guys how this works, if I were to move this all to the actual, then you can see here the cash flow summary will show that 6% is allocated towards bills, 93% is allocated towards variable expenses. Oh, probably because I also forgot to add cell phone. That's only like $50. So now you can kind of see how things would actually look at the end of the month, because the cash flow summary is really like where your money is going throughout the month and where you spent your money. How things are currently, it would be 59% towards bills, 40.4% towards variable expenses. And I think that's gonna be it for that. So for savings, my rainy day fund, if you go back to the tracker, rainy day fund, if I want to save up $5,000, I need to save up $416. But like I said, the money that I use for my savings is anything that I make from collabs usually. So I don't really put the full amount on my monthly resets. So I'm just gonna allocate like $100 from my paycheck, my normal paycheck, to that. Sinking funds, I'll put a percentage from my normal paycheck, and then the money that I make from YouTube is all gonna go towards that at the end of the month. I hope that that makes sense. It's a little bit complicated because I don't want to share all of that. I don't share the business aspect of it. But let's say for my first house, I definitely want to be saving up no matter what every single month. So I'm gonna say like I have $1,300 left to budget. Yeah, so like $400. For investments, I have my Roth IRA and my stocks, and this I 100% only fund through my 9-to-5 income. So going to the investments tracker, you can see that in order to save up $3,500 or invest $3,500, I need to put in about $291 monthly. And in my stocks with Wealthfront, if I want to invest $3,000, then I would need to put in $250 monthly. For my Roth IRA, I'm going to allocate $292, and for my stocks, I'm going to input $250. And so that leaves me with about $73 left to budget. Looking at my debt tracker, I would have to pay $416. So just for the sake of like this monthly budget, I'll give myself a bonus, which is pretty much money that I would transfer over from collaborations or sponsorships. So I'll give myself like $1,000 so that I can still meet my goals and so that I can pay the $415 towards student loans. So again, this is what it would look like then at the end of the month when I put in what I actually was able to pay towards it. Let's say I was able to pay $500, then it'll show you that difference. It's also calculated here in cash flow summary. So let's say for the rainy day fund, I actually end up paying $300, or for the first house, I end up paying $700, and I actually get paid $3,400, and let's say I make $3,000 on AdSense. Yeah, so again, these are all just estimates to kind of show you guys what it might look like, but this is how you would see like the graph and what it should auto-populate as. So just wanted to show you all that. Obviously, we're not gonna see until my next monthly reset routine, but this is how the tracker slash template will work. I'm not really gonna go into this too much because it's essentially taking your most important like savings goals and inputting them here to see them visually. So let's say like for the first house, that one's actually a really big one for me, and I want to save $20,000, and I'm allocating in January. You wouldn't really want to fill this out until after you actually put money into that specific bank account, but I'm just doing this to show you guys how it'll work. So $20,000 in January, let's say I actually end up putting in $500 or $1,000. So then you'll see your progress going towards your goal. It gives you this visual representation. I just think that for me personally, I like having the option of having like a visual way to keep track of my goals. So I wanted to share that with all of you. But anyway, I pretty much walked through my entire monthly budget for January. My financial goals I already set during my 2023 reset, and I just shared them with you all as well. So there's also going to be like a monthly inspirational quote that I found to be interesting or inspirational. You can always change it and customize it yourself. You literally just click on the cell and you change what it says. There's a monthly to-do section, so I forgot to fill that out, but something that I need to do this month that would financially impact me is, it's my birthday month, so I need to plan my birthday. I also want to host a game night. I want to go out to eat with at least 2 friends, not including Chicago because that's like a whole trip. So those are 3 things for now. I'll probably add to it later. Wish list, that's something that I want to purchase, but I need to sit on it and see if I actually need it. I've been wanting to get one of those Roomba like vacuum slash mops. I think they're really cool, but they cost like a lot of money. So that's something that I need to sit on and think whether or not I want to make that purchase. That was my thought process behind adding a monthly to-dos and a wish list. And as you can see, I'm even kind of getting used to using this new template because I really put a lot of thought into it. But now that I'm actually using it, I'm changing up a few things. So I'm going to update the template, but it should already be updated for all of you by the time that you're seeing this video. So hopefully you find this template useful. Again, I don't expect anyone to purchase my template. I know that there are tons of options out there. So feel free free to make your own or to find another one. Do whatever works best for you. This is what I'm going to be using because this is the one that I made, and I'll have it for sale on my website as well if you're interested in purchasing it and supporting in that way. But just by watching my videos, you're already supporting me. I just made this because I know a lot of you wanted it and you also wanted to be able to follow along my monthly resets. So I have it for sale on my website. Make sure to use the discount code for the month of January, which is down below. This video is probably really long. Please let me know if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a comment. I always love getting your feedback, constructive criticism or your constructive feedback. But definitely let me know down below because it helps me to plan my future content. So if this was way too long, then I'll keep that in mind for the future. But if you thought it was good, like the amount of information that I shared, then also let me know down below so that I can keep doing what I'm doing. But with all that said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video, this reset routine, and thank you all so much for watching and following along. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying these videos. And with all of that said, if I don't see you all down in the comment section, then I hope to see you all in the next video.